Peace, love, and light to you all.
I look down.
You look down? The light is up there, baby.
I love myself.
I love myself. Peace reflections, come on into the room. You already know who it is. It's your girl, Nitidi Janae. And Mickey Diki.
Back at it again.
Back at it.
How are you?
How are you? Nolly and Molly, come on in, y'all, and share this video because we about to go in on this topic now.
The water is nice over here.
Baby. The water is definitely fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's just right.
Come on in. Peace, everybody. Peace, everybody. Peace, Victoria. Ooh, yay. I like that. Peace, Victoria. Peace, Brandon. Peace, Alonza. Peace, Rye.
Peace, everybody.
Peace, peace. Come on in and share this video.
Showing up and showing out. I'm thankful. We thankful.
What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for everything. I'm thankful for this beautiful day. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for my mind, your mind, the ability to articulate and have this message flow through us to them. I'm thankful for the energy. I'm thankful for your energy. I'm thankful for everything, man. Like, I'm thankful to be grounded. I'm thankful to be in a warm environment. Everything. What you thankful for?
I'm thankful to be staring into your eyes right now. I'm thankful for your beautiful face and waking up to you every day. I'm thankful for us being surrounded by beautiful nature, which is just a reflection of us. I'm thankful to be awake and alive today. I'm thankful for even the birds talking right there and enjoying that beautiful coconut that we left out. I'm thankful for everything in my life.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful for everything.
I'm really thankful.
And that's what we're going to touch on is that you said you was thankful for
nature
and how it's a reflection of us. And that's a great segue, B. I like how you did that. That was great. That was great. So we finna build up on how your reality is a direct reflection, reflection of who you are. How you see this is how you see yourself. So your reality, nature, the people, the things, your perspective is a mirror showing you yourself.
Right. So could I start it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I wanted to go into this because, like, I saw a post of one of my reflections, and it said, like, I refuse to, see everybody as my reflection, and that's something that sparked something within me because it's like not accepting that everything is you, or not accepting that someone is your reflection is not accepting that we are all one. And I would love to express that, we are all each other. We are all one. We're all, but just vibrating on different frequencies with different thought forms. And with different thought forms come different frequencies and different vibrations, you know what I'm saying? So on different spectrums, so it's like saying that, and I like to express that when somebody is saying, oh, that's not a reflection of me, it's just something within them that they don't resonate within, that they don't resonate with. So it's just an aspect of themselves that they don't resonate with, or they don't understand, or they'll choose not to understand. They choose to run away from, or choose not to, indulge it. And there's some reflections of yourself that you don't have to acknowledge into your life right now because you don't want to, absorb their frequency or their vibration or whatnot. Some people are higher vibrating reflections of yourself, and some people are lower vibrating reflections of yourself. So just to say, I just want to let you guys know that coming into this state of consciousness, we both understand that we are reflections of each other, and to point the finger and say something bad about one is saying something bad about myself.
Right.
And I had to understand that from, what we went through last night. And, I can't just sit here and say you because you are me, you know what I'm saying? And because I love myself, I love him so much. Like, I see exactly myself, and that's why I always want to touch him and just love on him and just like, oh my gosh, because I see myself so beautifully. You know what I'm saying? If you don't see yourself beautifully, you're not going to see others as beautifully.
Right.
And we get so caught up into this Babylonian state of mind, trying to be in separation. Exactly, and separation is an illusion. So when we come into a state of consciousness that we are all one, we realize that we are all reflections. Everything is a reflection. This tree is a reflection of me. Like literally, do you see those leaves right there? And my hair is just like that leaf. Like I see it, you know what I'm saying? I'm my hair like it's like a palm. My puffs are like a pom tree, because everything in my reality is only reflecting what I am. Everything is holographic. Everything is a mirror. You know what I'm saying? So if people who are prone to saying like they don't see an aspect, or they see somebody and they're like, oh, I don't like that person, and they're prone to gossip about them, they're prone to, downgrade them and everything like that. Little do they know that aspect of them is only inside themselves. Little do they know that they're only talking about themselves. Little do they know they're only, just neglecting a part of themselves they probably need to heal, or probably need to give some attention to, because it's like, all right, well, maybe, or not even just attention to, maybe it's like, oh, maybe it's just an aspect of yourself that you just want to completely leave alone. Okay, we understand that, but at the same time, you can't just neglect the fact that we're not all one consciousness here. We're not all like aspects of one consciousness, and that means we are all the same. That means we're all connected. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to start off with that.
That's a fact. And I was just admiring and meditating on the fact that she is me, and I'm so thankful that I vibrated to an aspect of me, a reflection of me that thinks like me, because I've been in the search for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I woke up, I was realizing all this shit, and I was trying to tell people, and I was just like, yo, da 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 da, and they're just like, but that was just a reflection of my confusion. But now that I manifested someone in my reality that's confirming my beliefs and the truth, it's just like, made it.
Right.
But to piggyback on what you were saying with the objectivity, we're all energy. Energy, everything's energy. That tree's energy, I'm energy, she's energy, you're energy, the phone's energy, this water's energy, this grass is energy, everything is energy. And energy is God. And God is energy. And energy is everything, God is everything. And even though we're all, energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can only be transferred or transformed. So we're all energy, just in different form, and the difference in form is what we believe in, is why we believe there's separation. But at the end of the day, you break us down, we're all the same thing. We're all energy. We all came from the source. Without the sun, none of us would be here. The trees wouldn't be here, the grass, the water, none of this would be here. We all are byproducts of the sun. And so sometimes we need to check ourselves and realize that we're all the same thing. We're just different expressions of God, different expressions of energy. And once you realize that, it's crazy, because, and then also on a whole other tip, like, everything's fractal. So like, you're a fractal piece of the sun, and your expression of God or the source is being reflected to you in fractal expressions of the sun. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that person that I'm observing over here, that's a fractal piece of the sun, but how I observe it is how I observe myself. Like, how I observe that dog is how I observe myself. How I observe that tree is how I observe myself. How I observe my food, how I think about my food and shit is how I observe myself. And it's just fractal representations of self. And sometimes we just believe in the separation so much that we think, nah, that's just a tree. Nah, that's just that person. But that's how you see yourself. You know what I'm saying? And we got to realize that, because like, if you think food's just food and food's just there to taste good, and you don't really see the purpose of it, or you don't see the purpose or the impact that people have on you, and all this stuff, you can if you can step out of that and observe and see that's how you see yourself. Like, if you just see junk food and you're feeding yourself that, and you just see it as like, oh, I like it because it tastes good, you know what I'm saying? That means you're looking at yourself surface level, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not really digging deep into what you're putting into your body, and not realizing what's really happening, you know what I'm saying? And if you really truly realize what was happening, you wouldn't eat that shit. But that's a fractal representation or symbol of how you see yourself. You the person that eats stuff just because it tastes good and just because it looks, smells, whatever good, is the same person that probably cakes on makeup and tries to cover their self-hurt with materialism and tries to make themselves look good, but inside they're really hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because it's everything's fractal. Like you can see right through this stuff, and once you realize that, you can look into yourself and look at your habits, look at your patterns and stuff, and look into what you're having sex with, sacred energy exchanges, because everything's energy, and you can really articulate and be like, wow, like, do I love myself? And then you and when you determine that, you can adjust. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks. I wanted to address something that was in the comments about polarity. And yes, there is polarity there where there's a yin, there's a yang. There's a divine feminine, there's a divine masculine. And there's when there's, good, there's evil, whatever. But at the same time, you cannot sit here. You can understand polarity, but you have to understand that we are, balanced beings. And we have flip sides. You know what I'm saying? As much as somebody can be God, someone can be the devil. And we all understand that. We all understand that and understand that. And when we come to that state of consciousness, that's when we get to the state of, okay, we are all one because that whole yin and yang thing, what are they doing? It's all a circle. It all comes back around to you. So exactly, it's just one. Like it's a cycle. So it's like to understand that you are the God and you also are the devil is understanding your good parts of yourself and also understanding your bad parts of yourself and coming to acceptance and if you want to, you can vibrate towards either way, you know what I'm saying? But that's all up to you, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to give attention to certain things that you don't want to give attention to, like, people that's vibrating lower than you, but you have to understand that they are an aspect of you. Right. They are you. So to understand, and I'm just saying this because I've seen so many times in my experience, in my journey, especially with myself, is that when I judge one, I judge myself. When I judge somebody about being how they are, how they do things, I was only addressing an aspect of myself of, how I am and how I was doing something. And when I saw somebody, gossiping about somebody, I literally let that person know that person has a lot of traits that person, talk about with the other person. You know what I'm saying? That person was talking about their self, and it was just like, do you not see that this is you? But is the concept of separation that want to keep us in a box, that want to keep us from, oh, that's not me, and keep us like on guard about certain things. But it's just we're coming to a Christ consciousness. We're coming to a state of knowing that everything is us.
It's like this
Hi.
I would touch on the polarity thing too. You need one to have the other. Like what's a male without a female? What's a female without a male? What's a king without a queen? And what's a queen without a king? What's good without bad? Like there has to be something to compare it because everything's balanced. You know what I'm saying? But also something that came into my mind that like is an interesting thought is that like you could be paying attention to anything. Like there's infinite possibilities in this quantum world, you know what I'm saying? And what you choose to pay attention to. So like I look at Nay, right? And I could be thinking about I could be thinking about her hair, I could be thinking about her eyebrows, I could be thinking about her face, I could be thinking about what she's thinking, I could be thinking about what she wants to eat, I could be thinking about what she did 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever. I could think about anything I want. But what I choose to think about does not show anything about her. It shows about me, like what I choose to think about. Because I have the ability to think about anything. But what I'm choosing, okay, I'm gonna critique her eyebrows. But why am I thinking about that? No. I'm just saying that's just an example. Why am I thinking about that out of everything? You know what I'm saying? I have complete control of what I want to think about. But why am I going to eyebrows? And then it goes into then you think into it. This is what we don't really do in the Babylon mindset. But think into why am I critiquing your eyebrows? And then maybe you do say something to your friends and talk shit about it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, okay, why? And then you go into yourself and be like, oh, I'm always thinking about my eyebrows. I'm always thinking about like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm just saying that to say, how you see other people is how you see yourself. Your perception on your reality is literally how you see yourself, because everything is you showing you
Right.
you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much going on in my reality right now, and I'm choosing to pay attention to what I want to pay attention to. She could be paying attention to something completely different, but it's just amazing that, like, if you really think about that, like, okay, there's this vast world among us, this huge infinite plane, and I'm only paying attention to what I'm paying attention to. Why am I paying attention to that? Because of my past traumas, because of my past, my compilation of experiences that I went through that trained me, that programmed me to look at in places that I am familiar with, you know what I'm saying, or that interests me. And that's just you, that's me, you know what I'm saying? Like, and once you fully understand that, like, like, you are everything you think you are, you know what I'm saying? Everything you pay attention to is showing you you. And, like, question yourself, why am I paying attention to this? Why do I care what her eyebrows look like? Why do I care about, why am I looking at this and shit like that? And then you gotta understand that shit, because and stop pointing the finger, like, oh, her eyebrows are fucked up, she's fucked up because she got, I'm sorry, I'm not saying, I'm just.
Maybe I do. No, I was thinking about my eyebrows though.
No. I was just. No, but you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
We gotta stop pointing the finger and take responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I letting, in this example, in this analogy, why am I letting Nay's eyebrows rub me a wrong way? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I pointing the finger at her for her eyebrows? Like, come on, like, like, it doesn't make sense if you really think about it. Like, it really doesn't make sense. Like, your eyebrows are, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's that's something within me. And then also on the flip side, when someone's doing that to you, you gotta understand that it's them and not you. You know what I'm saying? But also,
this nigga, I always gotta make sure.
Bro.
Always gotta make sure he makes it.
Alright, bounce, bro. But, like,
I always gotta make a show. I always gotta make a scene. Show out.
But you also gotta understand, and this is where the balance comes in, because I know. Okay.
Oops.
I'm like, this is where you also gotta understand how people see you. You gotta understand that's how they see themselves. But you also gotta understand they are an aspect of you, showing you something about yourself. You know what I'm saying? So back to that example with Nay, where I'm just like, sorry, dog. I'll play with you later. You gotta bounce though. All right, you can share it there. But how I see Nay and how she takes that, she could be like, okay, that's how he sees himself, but why is that happening in my reality? You know what I'm saying? Is this my insecurity? Is this a physical manifestation? Is this a physical manifestation of my insecurities? You know what I'm saying? And that's what you got to be real with yourself about.
Can you move over? He's not gonna move over until we just not give him attention right now. Okay. Go ahead, babe. I apologize.
No, Come on, boy. Come on. Yeah, good boy.
Jesus.
Bounce. But yeah, like, we can't. I also, there's a balance, because we can say everything's you, but you can't also point the finger and say that's how you see me, because at the end of the day, it's still you. You know what I'm saying? And that is true. Like, how they see you is a reflection of how they see themselves, but they are also you. So you got to also understand that's an aspect of you being projected to you in your reality. And you got to articulate that. Okay.
Nah, fam.
you dogging my eyebrows. You dogging my eyebrows, and why is my reflection dogging my eyebrows? This is a physical manifestation of my insecurity. You know what I'm saying? And then you can't be like, you are making fun of my eyebrows because you have a thing wrong with your eyebrows. You know what I'm saying? You got to be real. You got to keep that balance. What? He's just trying to catch it down a little, bro.
Okay, but still, like, okay. All right, man.
You invasive, man.
This is what happens when you feed the wild dogs. You know what I'm saying? They think they can just do whatever. But any hoosers, I would like to express something with what you were just talking about, babes. And actually, a whole new topic when it comes down to realizing that everybody is you. Do you look at yourself in the mirror? Do you look at yourself in the eye? And do you talk to yourself? You know what I'm saying? Do you look at yourself and realize who you are?
Do you have that relationship with yourself?
Exactly. Do you have that relationship with yourself? Because it's hard to have a relationship with self and have a relation and not have a relationship. It's hard not to have a relationship with self and have a relationship with others. Because everyone that's brought into your reality is you, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had to ask Love, do you look yourself in the eye? You know, in the mirror, and because I was wondering why eyes diverted when I'm looking into your eyes. You know what I'm saying? I personally do this with myself. So when I'm doing this with myself, I'm expecting somebody to do it with me. You know what I'm saying? But and I notice this with myself. When I'm not looking at myself, I'm not looking at others. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. So it's like, how
Wait,
can
say that again?
they say the eyes are the window to the soul. So when I'm looking into your eyes, I'm automatically connecting with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we're able to connect. And, you know, is when we have that strong bond, that strong relationship with somebody or with ourselves, we can latch on and really be communicating. And sometimes we can communicate without even saying anything. You know what I'm saying? That's how strong the human, how strong a connection can be. You know what I'm saying? And knowing thyself can be. You know what I'm saying? So I want everybody to know that, you know, looking at yourself in the mirror and starting with self first is very important, because once you understand self, you understand others. Once you understand yourself and the flaws that you want to point out and gossip about other people, you understand what's going on with you. And that's just being real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just being real with myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to myself through the mirror. I'm talking to myself through my husband. You know what I'm saying? I'm always introspecting with myself. I'm always in communication, direct communication with myself. So I understand that this is my mind. And this is your mind as much as this is my mind. And we are walking universes. We are one. I understand that we are all aspects of each other. I understand you are an aspect of me, and I'm an aspect of you. And we are beautiful aspects of each other. And I'm really glad. I'm really thankful for that. But I understand that you are my reflection. I understand that my exes are my reflections as well. They're just other aspects of myself that I vibrated away from. And the thing is, or above, or away. You know,
Yeah.
you don't ever want to like compare and all this stuff. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you understand the concept. You want to understand that everything and everyone is you, because this is all a fractal universe. This is all holographic, and this is all just a mirror. Boom, bam, sugar, bam.
Boom, boom. And I want to talk about, because she did bring that up to me. On top of my like, sometimes when I be talking, and you can look at even in the live, sometimes I just be fucking looking everywhere. And on top of I have some, I have some confidence issues. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a real thing that I am battling. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But also, I have the Aquarius moon, so I'm just easily distracted. Like, I'll be looking around and everything. But this was brought up yesterday when we were talking. And because, like, she'll be looking me in the eyes, and that kind of convicts me sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We always look each other in the eyes, but sometimes, like, when we're talking, like, serious, and she's just staring me in my eyes, I'm just like, what you looking at,
And
man?
I had to be like, yo, where you looking at? I'm right here. You are right here. I had to remind her that I am him. So, like, like, that's what.
Am I trying to avoid myself right now?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so then she asked me, she was like, do you look yourself in the mirror? And I started to. And as I woken up, I started to. I don't do it as much as I should. And the reason why I don't is because, or not the reason why I don't, I'm not going to, but I'm going to say this. When I first woke up and I realized that I'm God, and that when I pray to, I used to be Christian, so I used to pray to an exterior God. You know what I'm saying? But once I realized I have control, and I reap what I sow, and I have control in what I manifest and what I bring into my life, I wasn't talking like, I realized I had to talk to myself like, yo, I'm gonna do this, I got this, I'm gonna do this. Like, I was self-talking. And at first, when I started talking to myself, it was just kind of uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, alright, how's it going? Like, it felt like I just met myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you first meet somebody and it's a little awkward. Once I first started self-talking, like, I wasn't as confident. But once I got more, did it more often and got familiar with myself, and it's just like, all right, now I talk to myself, like, all right, nigga, we're gonna do this, like, all right, like, you're being kind of a bitch right now. You gotta sack up, bro. You gotta do what you gotta do, and shit like that. So, like, what I'm saying is the more you do it, the more confident you'll get. And I'm still in the process of this. And at first, I'm saying this because at first it was uncomfortable. It was weird. It was weird talking to myself. It was weird passing that threshold of there's no separation. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how we've been programmed, that you're you, stay in your lane, do you, and don't, like, how you see how you are, that's how they are. Like, just a separation. You know what I'm saying? And so I was coming out of that, and when I was talking to myself, like, and it was just uncomfortable at first, but the more I did it, the more confident I got, the more I accept myself, the more I love myself.
Right.
And it's still a process. Like, I'll be in the gym, and it's crazy because I used to watch workout videos, and my reality was trying to tell me this back in the day, but I just thought, like, oh, that's how their mind works. But I was watching these guys working out, and they'd be telling themselves in the mirror, like, grow, like talking to their muscles, and like keep going, like talking to themselves, and I'd be like, oh, that's a cool way, that's how they do it. Oh, I have my own way of doing it. But now I realize, like, yo, like, that was my reality showing me that's what I got to do, because it works. Like, like this, like, I won't even count anymore. I'll just be like, grow, like keep going, like, and it helps, and that's I have been trying to practice more. I have been practicing more of looking myself in the mirror. One thing I realized is that, like, before, when I used to do that, like, especially in the gym, I have a humble spirit too, so, like, I'll be looking in the mirror in the gym, and I'd, like, look away just because I don't want to look like that arrogant, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm just like, fuck it, like, this person, if they want to judge me, that's me, like, and I just gotta love myself. I gotta gain that more confidence. I am gaining more confidence in myself, and not letting others interfere with how I feel about myself, because at the end of the day, they're me, you know what I'm saying? And how I see them is how I see myself. So I see them feeling like they're judging me is me just judging myself, you know what I'm saying? And I am overcoming that, and I have came so far with that, and I'm so thankful, and it's still a process though. And I'm thankful that my reflection brought it up to me, and I love myself.
I love myself, and I can only bring it up to you because I understand myself. I've been through certain things. He's just said he's been through things to introspect me. I've been through some things to introspect him and to tell him about himself, because we understand ourselves. So it's wonderful to gain a relationship with self so you can understand others and connect. So it was like, and it's very important, and I like to stress this, that we start every day and we look in yourself in a mirror. Because they like to say mirrors are dimensions and all that, but you're just looking at yourself. It's a reflection. You know, a mirror is actually just a symbolization of what the universe is actually.
I got a question, B.
What?
This is all a mirror. It's also good to, since this is all a mirror, it's also good just to look into your reality and give gratitude. You know what I'm saying? And then understand. Even look at your enemies, look at your situation, and just introspect. Just be like, okay.
The enemy is the inner me.
Right. But also just acknowledging just the beauty that's just in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Like how we come out here and it's like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? We're looking into the mirror of yourself, because this is you being reflected back to you, and just acknowledging that. Because me not looking in the mirror, growing up and just look like that, just avoiding that, is also, I wasn't looking at my reality and just being like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until I started looking in the mirror and started observing, or it wasn't until I started looking into my reality that was brought into my reality to also look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a different symbol, different fractal symbol of looking into yourself, into the mirror, and self-love. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Okay. I told him before, sometimes I just can't help myself. But I completely understand that. And as he was talking, it came into my point of view, getting hot, that like we said, as you see yourself, others see you, and vice versa. So when he was talking, and I started feeling like, ooh, my God, and then I started feeling like, wait, let me back up. Maybe that's something within him or something within myself that I had to, like, introspect or, like, come to a realization about. I hope that makes sense. So when it comes down to, like, and that's why I was stressing before that it's good to have a relationship with yourself. It's good to talk to yourself in the mirror and be like, yo, what's goody? What's good, yo?
How you feeling?
How you feeling? How you are? How you doing? Like, I love myself. I love you. Oh, you're so smart. You're so beautiful. You're so talented. You start going in about yourself now and then, and that's what you're gonna see in others, yo. If you say you will see somebody on the side of the road just because you just randomly, when you start randomly doing it to yourself, you'll start randomly doing it to others, and people will start randomly doing it to you. Cause why? This is just a holographic mirror universe.
Right.
So everything that you give is what you get back. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving myself love every day in the mirror. Probably the first thing I do in the rising is giving myself love, or talking to myself, or introspecting myself. So many times we want to go to our phones and look at our phones and look at somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So we don't ever see ourselves, or don't ever grow that relationship with ourselves. First thing when we wake up.
And usually that self that you're looking at of that other person isn't being real with themselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you're admiring or you're admiring
Mirroring.
something that's not even real. Like being their authentic self, because these people that we look up to, especially in like Hollywood, you know how they be. Like they don't like when their bad side's shown. They're only showing you the good, and that's why we admire them. But that's not real. You know what I'm saying? And so like when people, and I'm just talking from my personal experience, like when I used to like look up to those entities, it was kind of like false hope. You know what I'm saying? And when you feed that to yourself constantly and don't give yourself that self-love and fill that self-love with false hope, you're only shooting yourself in the foot. You know what I'm saying? But that's
Stop. No, don't stop. I just wanted to really just, also speak on why this man, and he don't like to be hot, so I understand that. So why this man is a reflection of me, and your person is a reflection, and how we can see it. You know what I'm saying? It happens to me plenty of times where I see my own facial features, you know what I'm saying, in somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I start seeing my own face. That's how much I started looking into a mirror, and how my conscience started rising to everything and everyone is you. You know what I'm saying? I started seeing myself in others, literally. And this happened with Tish. That happened with, whoever I came around. I started seeing myself, especially when I connect to them with my eyes. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure that everybody understand this, and we understand this. You know what I'm saying? Because we was faced with reality plenty of times. And the only way we can work through our relationships with people is when we understand ourselves and we work through it with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We are healers, especially healers. You have you have to understand that everybody is you, and everything is self, because you are a healer, because you are here to heal yourself, to heal the world. You cannot be saying, everybody is not you, because everything is you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's a really vital part of becoming a healer. Now, I'm not downgrading anybody for, being a healer and not understanding this. No, I feel like this is a point of consciousness when we come to, acceptance of self, and a certain type is also a self-love, and also a love of others. To understand that sometimes other people who are displaying negative aspects of you are just you. Or just displaying a negative aspect of themselves, and you start saying, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Maybe it's for you, and you asking why is because the universe is questioning yourself. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Questioning yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, and that brings you closer to your understanding of self.
And the more you neglect it, the more you avoid it, and more you point the fingers. I mean, all roads lead back to the source, so eventually you'll get it.
Right.
But we're just trying to help those because we got it, or we're getting it. And no, we got it. And it's empowering once you know that, because then you just don't waste your energy. You don't hurt yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you judge other people, you're hurting yourself. You're holding yourself to that standard. You're holding yourself to that judgment. And you're just shooting yourself in the foot, and that's what all the lower self is just self-destruction. Because the lower self, the lower frequency of thought is the Babylon mindset is just self-destruction. It's confusion on what and who you are. High frequencies that we're all trying to get to and rise to, elevate to is your shoulders, Bob.
Yeah.
is that frequency of love, and love is understanding, and understanding thyself, and knowing thyself, understanding what and who you are, which is God. So when we're on these low frequencies of confusion, we're just self-destructing. Everything we do, we're eating to fuck ourselves up. We're hanging out with people or reflections of ourselves that aren't for us, that are just surface level. They seem great and cool and da-da-da, but they're really draining our energy. We have self-destructing thoughts like, oh, I'm not enough, I'm not cool, I'm this, I'm that, I'm ugly, da-da-da, scratch that, because I don't want that in my reality. But I'm just giving an example. All these things, like we got to realize that, like, these aren't normal. These low frequency thoughts are something that we have been programmed into ourselves, and the only way you're gonna unprogram yourself is to make that same energy you put in to get to this point of that low frequency. You got to put that same energy in to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? You got into it, you can get out of it, and then you got to believe that.
I just want to address something in the comments. I said, nope, I am me, and that's it, and someone liked it. You can agree to disagree, but when we all come to this state of consciousness that we are all one, that's when we all grow into the heart chakra, because we can understand each other, and love is understanding. And that's what I've learned in my journey. You know what I'm saying? I could be hateful and spiteful towards a whole lot of exes in my life, or a whole lot of people, or family members, or everything, because of what I think they did, or my perspective of what they've done. But when I start to understand them and understand that they are just aspects of myself, and I start to understand myself, and so I was understanding them, that's when I was able to love through the situations. You know what I'm saying? That's when I was able to, and hear myself, yes. And then, heal. Yeah, heal. Like, literally heal. Not just myself, but also heal them by showing them love and compassion when they try to come at me with some kind of hate or spiteful shit. You know what I'm saying?
And since I'm glad that Reflection said that, because this will bring us into, okay, we're all the same thing, but what is it that separates us? Clearly, me and her appear to be separate, and there's separation. It appears to be there's separation between me and this tree, me and this dog, me and you and the viewer. And so it's just like, okay, what is that? And all that is just, we're all the same thing. And you can break this down astrologically, you can break this down physically, biologically. Like, we're just, so biologically, we're all cells. We're all consisted of DNA, and the DNA is made up of A, C, T's, and G's, like everybody's. And the only thing that separates us is the different combination of the A, C, T's, and G's that have different gene playouts that make us appear differently in exterior. And the thing is, that's the only thing different. We're all consisted of the same thing. We're all consisted of this A, C, T's, and G's. It's just different patterns. We're all consisted of energy. It's just different expressions of that energy. We're all the same thing. And you ask yourself, okay, then if we're all the same thing, why is there this separation? Why is there something? And I also want to note, the trees are also A, C, T's, and G's. The grass, everything. It's just different expressions of the same thing.
Right.
Same with astrological energies. We're all energy. We're all light. We're all light. We're just different. Her light, the light that she shines, is reflecting off the planets differently. It makes her see and perceive differently. But anyways, why are we separated? Why, if we're all the same thing, why is there something that's separating us, or appears to be separating us? It's because we're given this illusion because we are God, we're everything, and we're God experiencing itself. If God were to not, for God to experience itself, it has to be separated. It has to be separated to fully experience itself. If it wasn't separated, then it would just be the oneness. It would just be the infinite void of the quantum soup, the infinite possibilities, and it would just be darkness. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm seeing is the cell. Imagine a cell, right? It's like cells, and they split apart like this. Boom. But they're still a cell. They're still the same makeup, but now they're just two different.
We all came from one cell.
Exactly.
It's called mitosis. And then those split, and those split, and those split, and those, and that's what happens. And because everything's fractal. If you can see that, that's the same shit. That we are cells, and I just want to stress this again. Like, there has to be separation for God to experience itself. There has to be separation for you to live a life like this. You know what I'm saying? For you to experience everything. You know what I'm saying? And so without the separation, it would just be the quantum soup. It would just be the void, and what's the fun in this? The darkness, the infinite possibilities, and what gives you life is you taking a route within that void. It's you taking a route within the infinite possibilities, and this is my route, and that's what you are. You're a play out of that journey that you chose. You know what I'm saying? And
I want to address the comment. Celeste said, "Your truth is not everyone's truth. And this is the same thing in religion made up. There are many truths, but not one rule fits all." So religion, if you want to use that, where did religion derive from? All religions derive from one, right? One thing.
Just as we did.
Just as we did. And all came from one source, correct? We can all agree on that. So I want to just stress, like, all this information came from one source. You know what I'm saying? So to say that, you know, there's many truths. There's also, to say there's many truths, it's just different aspects of the truth, different perspectives of the truth. You know what I'm saying? Or different frequencies. You know what I'm saying? So what your truth is what you're going to perceive from your point of vibrational frequency, from your consciousness in that moment in time. So if I'm, say this, I know I have to eat. Everybody knows that we have to, we eat.
Right,
we eat. And we are what we eat, you know what I'm saying? So from my point of perspective, I could be on a consciousness saying, oh, I need to eat meat for protein. But I vibrated to a consciousness saying, oh, I have to, you know, I can get my protein from the grass because the meat gets their the meat that comes from an animal gets their protein from the grass, from the trees, from nature. So I can just, instead of going from a third party, I can go straight to source.
And,
you know what I'm saying?
And
that's the perspective.
What she's saying is the truth is we have to eat, and we all know that. There's just different perspectives on what we have to eat. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like, how I see it is there's one truth. There's one divine truth, but everybody has their own journey to that and observing that. And so I want to talk about this. I want to talk about fractal. Everything's fractal. Like she said, all religions came from one thing. All humans came from one cell. And to see this, I'll break it down with science. Fuck religion. Put religion and all that philosophical stuff to the side. Let's talk about the sun. A solar system, right? A solar system is a system around the sun. So there's the solar system. If without the sun, there wouldn't be a solar system. It's a solar system. Remember, the sun is the solar. So the system around the sun is the planets, the asteroids, all the stuff that's orbiting around the sun. So the thing that matters is the sun. That's the source. Without the sun, the system around it would not exist. So it's fair to say that these planets around the sun came from the sun. They did come from the sun. They're byproducts of the sun. Without the sun, this planet that we're on would not exist. Without the sun, Neptune, Mercury, Mars would not exist. So the sun is the source of these planets. And so if you can understand that everything came from the sun, everything came from the sun, then everything on this planet came from the sun, because the planet came from the sun. You know what I'm saying? So if you can understand that, bro, everything's fractal. The truth corresponds to everything. It doesn't matter about how you subjectively experience the truth, because that's your journey. How you subjectively experience the truth, that's your truth, like what you're talking about. But that truth that you're experiencing, I'm experiencing too in a parallel universe, but in my own subjective experience. We're getting so caught up in our separation, we're thinking like, no, this is my experience, this is my truth, you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't know what I've been through. But think about it this way, I know exactly what you've been through. I went through the same experiences, it was just symbolized differently. So Nay may had a, so for example, everybody's got a sob story. Nay may have, these are just examples, Nay may have been abandoned with her growing up, you know what I'm saying? And I may have been abused growing up. They're different situations, different negative sob stories, but it's the same hurt. It's the same pain, you know what I'm saying? It's symbolized in different experiences, but it's the same thing, and we learn the same things from it, you know what I'm saying?
The separation comes in when you're like, oh no, my sob story is worse than your sob story,
right.
But we still felt the same pain. So that's why I'm just like, this is just a fractal thing of what we're talking about here. You know what I'm saying?
Everything's fractal. The truth corresponds to everything. That's why you can use basketball, you can use chess, you can use anything as a metaphor for life. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything's a metaphor for life. If you're creative enough to articulate it, because everything's fractal, you know what I'm saying?
Why can you put mathematics in basketball, chess, and football?
And everything.
Exactly.
And why can you put football and correlate that with anything? Why can you, it takes some creative minds to do that and understanding of the sport and all that, but like you can, and it's crazy. That's why people say life is chess. You know what I'm saying? Because you can correlate the truth within, the truth is being corresponded through chess as it's being corresponded through life, and you can correlate that shit because it's fractal. You know what I'm saying? And someone said, what's wrong with separation? Nothing's wrong with separation. Separation's mandatory. And when I say separation, I'm not saying when I say separation, I'm not saying because separation's an illusion, but this illusion's mandatory for you to experience yourself. If there was no separation, you would not be able to experience yourself and experience, and because your energy in a realm of energy, manipulating and exchanging energy. Energy's God. Everything's energy. So for you to experience yourself as energy, you need to be separated and have your energy in different forms to experience yourself. If it wasn't, if you're just all one thing, just energy, that would be that quantum soup, that infinite void of darkness. And that's where we came from. But we came from that, and that's the first dimension. The first dimension is that darkness. That darkness, and then through thought, we took a route into the second dimension. So I'm gonna say it this way: when you graduate high school, and you go into, I'll use college for an example. There's all these majors you can go, and let's say that's the first dimension. All the infinite possibilities of the majors you can study. You could be a librarian. You could be a technician. You could be a doctor. You could be a lawyer. You could go to law school. You could be a businessman. You could be, so that's the quantum field, the first dimension, where you could do anything. You could take any route that you want to. You could pick any major. You could go to any school. You could go to, you know what I'm saying? And so that's the first dimension. That's the oneness. Just a major. You know what I'm saying? Like a major. But you, through thought, you're just like, okay, out of all these things, I want to be a doctor. And so, boom, that thought sparks you to take a route. And then that propels you into the second dimension, which is the microscopic realm. And that's when that thought starts to manifest. Boom. It starts creating. Boom, 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 boom. And we literally came from the second dimension when your dad's sperm and your mother's egg combined, and then it split and started to manifest, and then you vibrated, got bigger, and the cell split and formed a fetus, formed an embryo, then formed a fetus, and formed you, and then you were pushed and you spawned it into this third 3D realm. And so that's what happens. That's what happens is from the first dimension, you're just like, okay, here's all the options. I could be a doctor, I could be a lawyer, I could be all this, and then you're just like, all right, boom, I'm gonna be a doctor. That's shot into the second dimension. That thought starts to manifest, boom, 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 and then that thought is what manifests into the physical. And now you get your degree, and now you're a doctor, and you're being a doctor. You know what I'm saying? And so but what we need to realize is the second dimension is what matters. The third dimension is just symbolic for what's in the second dimension. In the second dimension is where you took that thought and was like, all right, I'm gonna be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Second dimension is where you took that thought and was like, all right, I'm sad, or I hate myself, or you know what I'm saying? So you need to go back within and tell yourself, I love myself, so that will manifest into the physical. You know what I'm saying? Because everything's fractal. What's happening as above, so below. As within, so without. What's happening on the inside is manifesting out here. You know what I'm saying? So we got to understand that. We got to understand that it's all fractal, and
how you view others is how you view yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, so I hope that answered, that question and everything like that. So, that was beautiful, babe. That was wonderful.
Shout out to Chief.
Shout out to Chief for sparking us. You know what I'm saying? Giving the information that we are reflections, and we pushing that out by saying peace reflection. You know what I'm saying? That's why we say peace reflections. And I love myself because I love me, so I love him, so I love everything around me. You know what I'm saying? And my environment is a reflection of myself.
Shout out to Chief, but also shout out to Source. Because Chief got the message
from Source. Yeah,
and that's where we all come from.
Exactly, and that's where all the information's coming from.
I'm just giving credit where it's due. I always shout out Chief because it's kind of like if you have a favorite song, you know what I'm saying? And that song came from Source, but the person that tapped into that song and tapped into the Source to receive that beautiful song, you got to give credit for it. You know what I'm saying? You got to give credit where it's due. So. All
right, so I knew your influence was the demon. A smart person would know that you learned. No, I got to address this because the fact that you were addressing someone as a demon is just seeing a part of yourself as a demon. Nice. And I just want to make sure that you know that. You know what I'm saying? Like we like I said, every God and the devil is the same thing, just on two separate sides of one coin.
It's you.
It's you.
You are both the God and the devil at the same time.
And to take something, and do you see me as a demon right now, giving you this information? It's like I'm taking what I've learned from someone who was viewed as a demon, and applying the information that is right and righteous and vital, you know, and giving it to you guys so we can understand how life truly is. A person can understand their enemy. A smart person would understand their enemy better than, you know, they understand them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying Chief is my enemy, because I understand him, and that's a part of myself. And that's why I came to understanding. You know, that's why I came with all the resentment and the hate and all the gossip left, because I understand that that was everything that I was judging that person on was reflected back on me, and everything the universe put me through, because I was judging that person. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to let you guys know that everybody's beautiful. Everybody has a journey, and everybody has an aspect of self, and everybody are here as with their astrological energies, as who they are as a person, and God, and everyone is God. So they are expressing themselves exactly how they need to express themselves, so it can all contribute to this experience we call life.
And I love myself.
I love myself.
But also, I just want to send this to that reflection. All roads lead back to the source. So you'll understand what we're saying eventually.
Right.
Because I'm saying that. I'm not saying that to say I'm more than you or better than you. I'm saying that because I used to think like you.
I am you.
I am you. I used to think like, I ain't that nigga. That nigga raped somebody. I'm not that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a rapist, but I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So I understand why people think like that. You feel me? But it takes a strong mind to understand and love the lower aspects of you. You know what I'm saying? And be like, wow, that guy did something really fucked up. But if you understand, hurt people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of just pointing the finger, and you're letting his hurt situation affect you. You know what I'm saying? You're taking he's emitting this evil hurt energy, and you're letting it consume you and make you hate him.
You are what you focus on.
Exactly. So I'm not condoning rape or anything like that. I'm just saying it's hard, man. It's tough. It's difficult to love your enemy, but it's mandatory, because when you love your enemy, you'll love yourself. Because your enemy is just showing you things.
Love thy friends and thy enemies.
And that's a fact, yo. You are a master of your own faith. Everybody's a master of their own reality, their own life.
Right.
And when we call Chief master teacher and shit like that, it's not, and we're not like again, that's like, people have a hard time hearing that because they believe into the separation. But he's a reflection of me. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's like people, it's like talking to yourself. Like we do it out of respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he chose to be called.
It's
like calling president Mr. President.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, you're not my president. Like, what?
He ain't my president. But I'd rather call Chief my president than fucking Donald Trump. But that's no resentment towards Trump, because I don't know the nigga, but I don't care. That's why I left. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna tell a nigga how to run his business.
Right.
And so, but yeah,
so
like people knock people.
So why not call yourself? I'm God,
yo.
Yeah,
I'm
God,
yo.
Literally calling Chief master teacher. It's calling myself master teacher. I know I'm a master teacher.
Because I understand him.
I understand him. I understand myself. So it's like, you know, I'm not gonna let this like make me boil up. I'm just getting passionate. I'm just really getting passionate.
This is a great example, and I'm thankful, reflecting that you're addressing this, because you bring clarity for both of us.
Right.
It's just like you calling a rapper a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, that rapper is a rapper because they could tap into source. That reflection that you can tap into source and take the information and articulate it into a rap song.
Yeah,
you know
what makes a rapper a rapper?
And I don't call myself a rapper because I don't do that. That's not my strength. You know what I'm saying? Chief, master teacher, he is a master. He's a teacher. He's a very good teacher. That master, not just a teacher on one subject, but he takes in astrology, biology, psychology, sociology, and spirituality, and everything, and ties it together. And that's what makes him a master teacher. And this other master teacher, he's not the only master teacher.
Right.
Bruce Lipton's a master teacher of epigenetics.
Right.
We can be considered Abraham Hicks. We can be considered master teachers. We're doing the same thing, but we're just shouting out to the person that inspired us. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. And this is what I want to touch on too, because the people that don't give credit to the source are the people that disrespect their parents. The people that don't the people that don't give credit to where they get their information and don't give respects to the people that taught them, and are also the people that don't acknowledge where the food came from. Those are also the people that think, ooh, food, that just comes from the grocery store. I used to think like that. And then
fractal.
It's all fractal. So if you think like that, you thinking like that. You feel me? And I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying, like, it's fractal. So
it's okay. So someone said life is a person, not a teacher. It's just like discrediting that you are not life. That you're discrediting that. Go ahead, Ben. It's discrediting, saying, "Oh, that I'm not an experience here. I'm not a thought, so I cannot be a teacher." It's like life flows through us. The sun flows through us. The energy flows through us. So that's why we are able to teach. That's why we're able to call ourselves teachers. You know what I'm saying? Yes, experience is the greatest teacher. Not just words, experience, but who goes through the experiences? This vessel, this body, this person, this teacher. So it's like I just want to express that. Like you cannot. And this is just this is just all a reflection of you, my love. And I'm going to cut it right there. And if you don't agree with what we're saying, you can easily leave the room. But we're glad that you're here because we are sparking us to give clarification on this. You know what I'm saying? You're saying there is our difference, and I didn't have a man to teach me life, not nature, not man. I could say the same thing. Nature taught me. Nature got me. If you want to come back into
nature.
Man is nature. I am nature. That's why I'm able to
separating yourself from nature.
And this is just a reflection of your mind. And we can go back and forth like this all day, but I'm not gonna pay attention to you right now because it's like I can give attention to the questions that do matter, but at the same time, this is just a reflection of you. You know, you want to create separation within yourself, then that's you. You know what I'm saying? But we understand that we are nature. We understand that we are the teachers. We understand that we are experiencing life because we are fractal. Everything is fractal, and we are all aspects of God, just experiencing ourselves here. We understand that everything is one. Ooh, I just felt myself. And when I step into this grass with my feet, I can feel myself. I can feel this butterfly. I understand that butterfly is me. I can understand that I am in control of my reality. I can understand that the experiences that I go through is not just for me, it's for everyone involved, or everyone who comes on this live, or who gets around me, who might needs a word, you know what I'm saying, and vice versa, you know what I'm saying. I am also a student here, not just a teacher, but also a student, you know what I'm saying. If you never learned from a man,
yeah, who'd you learn from? You learn from your parents, yo.
Yeah, if you never
you could say, oh, my dad, my mom wasn't there. You learn from somebody.
Andrew's
like you learn from your grandma. You learn from your friends. You learn so get out your pride, man.
Yeah,
like
the pride.
You learn from people all the time. You just don't want to learn from Chief, and that's okay.
Right?
Yeah. Don't go somewhere else. Yeah, like don't waste your energy on shit that you don't resonate with. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to end that right there, but I'm thankful. I really am thankful that got brought up, because I'm sure you're not the only one that was wondering. So, there are so many.
I don't even pay attention to her.
Teachers, mentors, etc. Exactly.
Right.
A teacher is just someone that is sharing their experience.
Because
we're all in parallel universes. You know, we're all experiencing the same thing. It's just symbolized differently.
Right.
So a teacher is just someone that has the energies that is able to articulate their subjectivity and express it objectively, so people can apply it to their subjectivity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all a teacher is. And if you don't like how that teacher is portraying their subjective experience, or you don't agree with their subjective experience,
you don't have to tune in.
That, but also you're failing to see that subjective experience is just another symbol of how you're experiencing your life. Because you're in a parallel universe, and you want to argue that, just go on YouTube and look up the facts, yo. Like there's tons of proof on that this is all holographic universe, and you're experiencing yourself, and this is all a mirror.
And you know what? I'm not gonna.
That's for you to figure out.
Right. I'm not gonna pay attention to somebody whose life is not reflecting what I would desire, because with me giving you my energy is just a reflection of me draining myself. Because it's like you could cast pearls to swine or whatever like that. Don't cast pearls to swine, but at the same time, it's like, all right.
You're defending yourself.
Yeah,
it's an aspect of you.
The thing is, my love, I feel like, you know, people have to understand that there's people out here actually teaching from their vibrational frequency, from their understanding of life and everything like that. And there's people out here teaching people how to, you know, understand the devil, which is understanding your lower self, so how you can, you know, get yourself out, raise yourself higher out of that. You know what I'm saying? But you have to understand the devil to understand yourself. You have to understand your lower aspect to see what's the how you can always be in your higher self. You see, you need to be in a sense of discerning what is your lower self and what is your higher self. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And a wise person will do that. A wise person wants to sit here and point the finger and say, "Oh, you, that, and that's a demon." Da, 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 da. That's where religion is coming into, and religion is all about separation. And people who are, and I'm just gonna say this: I'm putting this out. This information out for generations to come. I'm putting this out for my grandma when she had to reincarnate here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not focused on anybody who just
Your future self.
Yeah, I'm putting it out there for people who, you know, who needs this information to ascend. You know what I'm saying? We got this information from
we
source.
needed it.
Yes.
And we're just giving back.
Exactly.
Don't get too.
I got passionate.
It's okay. And I read and someone said, how do you pay your bills out here? It's just a mindset, yo. You just gotta realize that you are everything, and just love yourself. First of all, I'm just gonna break it down. Love yourself, and once you understand yourself, you'll understand what you're here to do. We understand that we're here to teach. We understand that we're here to push this message, and so that's what we've been doing, and we've been provided for. I have artistic abilities, she has artistic abilities, and people demand that. So clients come, people come. She helps people. She does tarot readings, and it's enough to pay the bills. It's not expensive to live out here at all, and that's another reason why we came out here. It's a conducive environment, and it's cheap to live because it's in abundance. So that's how we do it. We just loved ourselves and understood what we're here to do. You know what I'm saying? And we do it, and we give back, and that's why we're on live and just doing this.
I have to catch myself.
It's all good. It's all good because at the end of the day, that person that was talking, I'm telling you, like that only helped our message, because it gave, we were saying one side, but it allowed us to address the flip. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just thankful for that reflection, because you aren't the only one wondering that shit.
I literally just felt like the vibrational shift, and I had to, like, you saw me, like, I had to just breathe, and I felt myself getting lower into my lower self, and then I just vibrated higher to my higher self by understanding where that person's coming from. They're coming from a point of misunderstanding, and they want to understand. That's why they actually putting this out, and that's why that energy was brought out of me, you know, and I had to understand myself. So this is just an example of exactly what we're talking about. And I understand you, and I forgive myself for, like, getting that boiled up, but I forgive you. But also I love you because I love myself, and I love that aspect of myself that wants to get an understanding.
Right. That's how you gotta see it. Like.
Right.
I was thinking that, like, yo, be like.
Yeah, you felt me, and I'm glad, like, you had to, like, check me. I'm glad this guy is with me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like. And
she went in a whole live debating that.
Yeah, I never usually do that.
No, it's just passion though.
Yeah.
Like, we truly care about. We're not doing this for monetary gain to impose our will over nobody. We're doing this because we're passionate about what we have experienced, and we just want to tell people because what we're experiencing is working, and it's bringing us this happiness. And we came from a place that or not you, but like that. We came from a place that a lot of people are coming from as well. They lower selves, and we figured out a way, and we're figuring out a way to get out of that, and we just want to share it because it's empowering, it's freeing, and that's all we're doing. We're not here to tell you how to think.
Yes.
You can bounce, yo. You can flip the channel, and so that's all we're doing. What time is it there? It's the opposite time of what it is there. Whatever time it is in America. It's just 12 hours different.
You know, there's different time frames in America too, so they could be coming from like California and it'd be getting a different time. So I gotta pee. I'm just saying
that just because I don't know what exact time it is. It's just 12 difference from Eastern American time. So if it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, if it's 10 o'clock at night there, it's
12, baby. So
okay.
1 just love.
So it's 10:12 here, a.m. So that means it's 10:12 p.m. where y'all at if you're in Eastern time. Don't let them get to you. Please keep sharing. Nope, that's too easy. Time is irrelevant. That's a fact. That's how I'm feeling. But I mean, people are curious, so it is what it is. Okay, positive energy. Let's see what people say. Without internet, can y'all survive? Yeah, I mean, okay, I'll talk about this. the internet and technology. Our mission at the end of this is all part of our journey. Our journey is to get back to nature and live in tune with nature and survive off nature and be one with nature and have our own source of food. Just be sovereign and dependent on ourselves and the people that we're with. Whether it's gonna be more than me and just Nay. Like, we're gonna vibrate to our soul family and we're gonna live off the land and have our own. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna be dependent on a system or others that hold our that impose their will on us. You know what I'm saying? So the internet and technology. We're here. The internet and technology isn't bad. Money isn't bad. It's how you use the internet and technology. It's how you spend the money. And that's where we get wrong. We see people vibrating at a low frequency, and we see them abusing the technology and abusing the money. So we automatically have this connotation that money and that technology is bad and that it's evil. But it's not. Yo, we got to understand technology came from nature just as we came from nature, just as the fruit came to nature. It's just how we're using it. We have this idea that it's evil and that it's bad. But technology in its natural state, without that connotation that it's negative, is beautiful. It's just as positive as it is negative. You can go on the internet and learn and learn stuff about yourself. You can look up your astrology. You can look up diets. You can look up healing techniques. Or you can go on the internet and look up porn. You can look up people getting their heads chopped off. You can look up fights. You can look up all this shit. So it's not the internet that's bad. It's how you see the internet. Like I said, like this whole life's about is your life's a mirror. How you use the internet is the frequency that you're on. You know what I'm saying? How you spend your money. You can spend your money on drugs. You can spend your money on setting up people. You know what I'm saying? You could use your money on buying candy on death and shit like that. Or you can use your money on buying land to live off of. You can use your money to promote and give it back to nature. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the technology. And yes, if the internet, the system is gonna fall eventually. So the internet isn't gonna be here. But while it's here, we're gonna use it to push out the message. Because now I can communicate with you that's across the world. You know what I'm saying? So the internet's not bad. And then just because we use the internet doesn't make us like, oh, you're not in nature. We are in nature. We are ground. We are doing. And I don't got to prove myself to you, but I'm just saying we are doing what we have to do to better ourselves. And we're just using the internet to activate y'all with our experience, and something obviously gravitated y'all to us. So,
right.
So without the internet, y'all wouldn't be getting this message. So stop knocking the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's just like saying like fuck money. But if you didn't have the money, you wouldn't be able to be in the house that you live in, especially if you in Babylon. You know what I'm saying? So again, just remember, it's not what you do. It's not what it is. It's how you use it. It's not the internet. It's how you use the internet. Because you can use the internet to help you.
Yeah, for scholarship.
Stop demonizing everything. That's the low frequency that we're vibrating at.
Yourself.
Right.
And I just had to have an introspection in the bathroom, like I always do, about why I got like passionate about that. It's just like, well, we come in bringing understanding because of what we've experienced, and personally, what we research, also experienced by the universe, because experience is the true knowledge and everything like that. So it's basically just pointing at a cat and saying, that's not a cat. You know what I'm saying? And we can break down why it's a cat biologically, why is a cat astrology, why is it a cat physically, everything, what makes a cat, we can break that down to why is it a cat, why in the experiences with a cat, why is that a cat? But that person be like, no, that's not a cat. So we'd be like, yo, if you want to say it's not a cat, that's on your perspective. You can say that's not a cat. But biologically, astrology, and with the experiences that we've learned through this cat, it's a cat. You know what I'm saying? So that if you're free to be who you ever want to be, free to think how you ever want to think. But you wouldn't be on this channel or broadcast if the aspect of you wasn't calling out to yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like, really, literally. And I just want to say that, there's no comparison to anybody. And I'm not everything comes from source. So even viewpoints that I have to, or we all have to, consider or, don't want to consider, if you really want to understand life and understand yourself, you would, dig deeper. Go above the surface. Go deeper below the surface. You know what I'm saying?
All treasures are
and
buried.
And by high.
No treasures. Let me know if you found a treasure chest on the surface of the ground.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let me know if just everything's under the surface.
And it's gonna be the selfish dwellers that aren't able to receive what's dig below, and it's okay. It's not your time yet to dig. So that's just basically it. You know what I'm saying? When I'm not better than you, I am you. And I understand that that this is just fractal, you know what I'm saying? And you're just an aspect of me that I'm coming to terms with and understanding.
Thank you.
I understand a person, that aspect of me that wanted to be in denial, you know, that wanted to be like, nope, no, you know, no matter of how many facts or, you know, experiences that was presented to me. I understand that aspect, and I love that aspect of me. I'm gonna love through that aspect, but I don't have to entertain that aspect of me.
Nobody likes alarm clocks when you're sleeping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you're in a deep sleep and alarm clock, especially if you got to go to work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you're in that mindset, oh, I got to go to work, and you're in the Babylon system, let the work in this analogy represent the Babylon mindset. Like, you got to wake up for work at 5 a.m. and you sleeping good, and all of a sudden your alarm clock goes off. You're just like, fuck. Like, when people hear these things that the objective truth, it's like that alarm clock, and it counteracts, or it goes against your sleep, your dream, and you got to understand that just because the alarm clock's waking you up, or what you got to understand is that alarm clock's waking you up because you and it's disrupting you. Well, it's yeah, that, but also I can bring it this way, that it's waking you up because you put yourself in that situation to have to be woken up to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we be sleeping in sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, we be waking up by the sun. So once you realize that, like, you set that alarm clock, and you get mad when it goes off. That's on you, cuz like, but also that alarm clock's going off for a reason, to wake you up. And
everybody don't pay attention to we don't call them haters, we call them insulators.
Or misunderstandings.
And they insulate something within us. They give us the drive to get this knowledge out, you know what I'm saying? So don't pay attention to that energy. Is just distracting from the message. And I don't normally get trolls. Like, I normally don't get somebody who comes in my...
Oh, they're coming, yo.
But now it's like the message is coming out, and it's like it's getting bigger and bigger and more important.
I just want to let y'all know I'm ready, because I already feel like shit's coming, and when you have a strong message, it's gonna be strong opposition. So the trolls are coming, and I'm objective, so I can see through that shit. Like, but we ready, we strapped up.
Right, you literally got the wisdom and knowledge and the protection that we need. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to block you now. I don't even want to block you. I just want to see what you be saying. But
What'd she say?
She said, or whoever, see who he. You all have a lot to learn.
That's a fact.
Yes, we do, and we're not denying that. We are still learning and still experiencing.
As you are.
Exactly. Just witnessing this frequency play out again, you all makes me see how far I've come. So yes.
That's what's up. That's great.
Good. I'm glad you see.
So keep it moving and go on your frequency.
You know, be on that. Keep vibrating higher, man. If it seems like a lower frequency,
but at the same time, the same time, I'm so thankful she said that, because I feel the same way. Like, I'm so thankful. Like,
we can understand each other.
That, and then also, like, I bit low key was feeling the same way about that person. Like, I'm so thankful I came so far away from them. So you literally just reflected me, and I love myself. So.
I love myself, literally. So learn to promote our sisters and brothers. Positive journey. Give thanks, princess. We adore you. Thanks for the live, fam. We appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in.
Right.
Like, this is what fuels me and her as healers and teachers. Like, we just love helping people. We love we love when, like, the best feeling, yo, is like when you're building with someone, when you're in person building with somebody, and it's just clicking.
Right.
Boom, boom. Like, they're just like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. And you just you're activating them.
Right.
That's the best feeling. That's better than fucking $5 grand hitting the count. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just like...
And I know the universe is only presenting reflections of myself that needs the wisdom and knowledge and experiences that we went through, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm thankful for all the people that come to me for readings or consultations, because I have that wisdom and guidance presenting at that moment in time. I'm to give that to that person, you know what I'm saying? And I'm very highly intuitive, so I'm able to tap into their energy, and as well as my energy of what I've gone through or I've experienced. And if I haven't experienced that before, I'm getting directed from source to all the information. So I'm thankful thankful for that. I'm grateful for that. And every time I get a reading, it's reflecting something within me that I have to heal within myself too. One, or something that reminded me of something to keep astray or come into realization about myself. We're constantly helping each other out.
Facts.
And if that's what you intend, but if you want to self-destruct and set out self-destructing, go somewhere else.
But that's what I want to touch on too, because like people think like, oh, thank you so much for the live, and I'm thankful for your gratitude, but I'm also saying thankful to you because me on these lives, this is how I think, this is how I articulate the information. So when I do these lives, this is like my little sit down moment with myself and with Nay, which is myself. To articulate my knowledge. I've taken in all this knowledge and gained this wisdom through applying the knowledge, and now when I go on live, it's me reflecting and articulating it and understanding it and processing it. So I'm helping you guys, but you guys are also helping me by giving me someone to express myself to, because this is what we need to do. Meditating is just meditating on a thought. It's just thinking, it's focusing on one thought. Meditating is also, people think meditating is this, which it is. It's just focusing on your breath or focusing on, but it's ultimately, objectively, meditating is just focusing on a thought. So when we build on a topic on lives and we're thinking this through and thinking, that's meditating. So this is vital. Meditation is vital to your mental growth, mental, spiritual growth, everything. So I'm thankful for y'all. I'm thankful for y'all giving me an outlet. I'm thankful for Facebook. I'm thankful for Instagram Live. I'm thankful for all of this. The internet. I'm thankful for the people that I encounter. I'm thankful for everybody that just gives me their a ear to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how I need to. Okay, this is a tip I learned. To love yourself, a good way, a clear way to love yourself and understand yourself is to figure out how you receive, articulate, and express energy. You know what I'm saying? How you receive, take in information, how you articulate that information, and then how you express that information. And once you understand that about yourself, you good. Then do it, and then you will be able. So for me, I'll give you my personal example. I'm very creative. I'm creative. I'm creative, and I'm a visual learner. I like to be hands-on and visual. So that's how I take in information. I like watching videos. I like seeing and doing it. And so that's how I take it in. So I watch YouTube videos. I can read, but I'd rather see, you know what I'm saying? I'll also like just to experience it, you know what I'm saying? But then also how I articulate it is this is how I articulate. I think about it. I do art about it. I'll use my creative. I'll transfer that logic to the right side of my brain and do art through creativity, and then I'll express it through my art, you know what I'm saying? Or through talking. And that's why I go on lives, and that's just how I do it, and it works for me. It's helped me grow. It's helped me attract this beautiful woman into my life. It helped me attract this beautiful environment into my life. It's because I just figured out how I receive, articulate, and express my information, energy, or anything like that. And that's what we should all come to, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how I do it. I know that about myself because I love myself. You got to figure out how you do it. You got to figure out, because not everybody's artistic. Some people, well, me, I do graphic design, so, and I can do that. Someone may be an artist, like singing, you know what I'm saying? So like you may take in information and then write a song about it and then put that song out, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just, you just got to figure that about yourself, and once you do, it's cheat code. That's your personal cheat code, you know what I'm saying? So.
That's shame. I love myself. Like I love myself. Literally, I love him so much. And it's like, wow, like that, everything he just explained, that's the best aspects of myself that I love. You know, I love that I can do exactly what you just said. Like that, and that's why we get along so well. And that's why I'm able to understand him. Like whenever, we get into a conversation, but there are aspects that I still have to understand. But when we get in a conversation, I'm sitting here going like, okay, well, this, and this, and then I'm using my hands to visualize, do this, because I know that I'm a visualizer. I know that I see when I'm explaining something, I use my hands to visualize certain things. And he's a visualizer, so he's able to see what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And it just works beautifully, you know what I'm saying? So when you understand yourself, you're able to attract somebody who understands themselves. And when you attract somebody to understand themselves, you both understand each other because you understand yourself. But there's that wall that people want to place up for separation and everything. And we just got to break down and just see that we are just one. You know what I'm saying? We are just one. And it makes perfect sense to why we've come together in this union. You know what I'm saying? It makes perfect sense to me. It makes perfect sense to him. And with that being said, I am your reflection. you are my reflection. Everything around us is a reflection. And I love myself.
I love myself. It's all fractal. And you gotta love yourself.
Got to. So, with that being said, these reflections, I love myself.
I love myself. Thank you for tuning in. Have a beautiful evening.
Night.
Safe travels.
I love you.
Who said the angry faces?
I don't know. Who cares? Who cares? I love myself.
Funny, yo.